Hello, Peter. You're not Peter Parker.
The story of Spider-Man, No Way Home, begins at a moment when Peter Parker's life has completely changed. The world has discovered his secret identity, and the revelation spreads across news channels, social media, and the streets of New York. Suddenly, Peter is no longer just a teenager trying to balance school and heroism. He becomes the center of attention for the entire world. Some people admire him, believing he is a true hero who has risked everything to protect others. But many others blame him for destruction and chaos caused during previous battles. The public debate surrounding Spider-Man creates pressure that quickly begins affecting every part of Peter's life. Peter struggles to adjust to this sudden loss of privacy. Cameras follow him wherever he goes, reporters shout questions, and strangers argue about whether he should be considered a hero or a threat. His closest friends, MJ and Ned, also find themselves pulled into the chaos because of their connection to him. Their normal lives begin falling apart as the controversy surrounding Spider-Man spreads further. Even simple activities like attending school or walking through the city become stressful experiences filled with unwanted attention. As the situation grows worse, Peter realizes that the exposure of his identity has serious consequences beyond embarrassment or public criticism. The people he cares about most are now in danger. Anyone who wants revenge against Spider-Man can easily target his friends and family. The fear that he may have put them at risk begins to weigh heavily on him. Instead of feeling proud of his hero identity, Peter begins to regret that the truth about him was ever revealed. The legal and social complications continue building as authorities investigate the events connected to Spider-Man's recent battles. Although Peter insists that he only acted to protect innocent people, suspicion and confusion surround the situation. His reputation as a hero is no longer guaranteed. For the first time since becoming Spider-Man, Peter begins to question whether he can truly maintain both his personal life and his responsibility as a protector. This emotional struggle leads Peter to search for a way to undo the damage caused by the revelation of his identity. He believes that if the world could somehow forget that he is Spider-Man, his friends and loved ones would be able to return to their normal lives. The idea might seem impossible, but Peter knows someone who may have the power to help him. He turns to Dr. Stephen Strange, a powerful sorcerer whose knowledge of mystical forces extends far beyond ordinary understanding. When Peter approaches Strange with his request, the sorcerer initially hesitates. Changing the memories of the entire world is not a simple task, and such magic carries unpredictable risks. However, seeing Peter's desperation and understanding his desire to protect the people he loves, Strange eventually agrees to attempt a powerful spell that could make everyone forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. The spell begins inside Strange's mystical chamber, where powerful energies swirl through the air as the sorcerer starts altering reality. The plan is simple in theory: remove the knowledge of Spider-Man's identity from every mind on Earth, but as the spell unfolds, Peter begins worrying about the consequences. He suddenly realizes that the spell would also erase the memories of people he cares about, including MJ, Ned, and others who mean the world to him. Panicked by this thought, Peter repeatedly interrupts Strange while the spell is being cast, asking for exceptions so certain people can still remember the truth. Each interruption forces Strange to adjust the magic again and again, making the spell increasingly unstable. What started as a carefully controlled spell quickly begins, spiraling into chaos as conflicting conditions weaken its structure. Eventually, the magic collapses completely, creating a dangerous ripple across reality itself. Strange manages to contain the immediate damage, but the consequences of the broken spell begin revealing themselves in unexpected ways. Instead of simply altering memories, the spell has opened cracks between different universes, allowing individuals who know Spider-Man's identity from other realities to begin entering Peter's world. At first, Peter does not understand what has happened, but soon he encounters the first sign of the multiversal disturbance. A brilliant but dangerous scientist from another reality suddenly appears, bringing with him technology capable of incredible destruction. This individual recognizes Peter as Spider-Man, but quickly realizes that this version of the hero is different from the one he once knew. Not long after, another unexpected figure arrives, someone whose control over electricity gives him immense power. He too recognizes Spider-Man, yet he also senses that the world around him is unfamiliar. These arrivals are not random accidents. They are the result of the spell pulling people across universes who share a connection to Spider-Man. As more individuals from other realities appear, Peter begins understanding the full scale of the problem. Many of these visitors are dangerous enemies who fought Spider-Man in their own universes. Each one carries their own memories, motivations, and grudges, making them unpredictable threats in a world that is not their own. Doctor Strange quickly realizes that the broken spell has created a multiversal crisis. If the visitors are not returned to their original universes quickly, the fabric of reality itself could become unstable. Strange believes the safest solution is to capture these individuals and send them back to where they came from before the damage spreads further. Peter, however, struggles with this plan. As he learns more about these individuals, he discovers that many of them were destined to die in their original universes during their battles with Spider-Man. Sending them back would mean sending them toward their deaths. Peter's deep sense of responsibility makes it impossible for him to accept that outcome without trying to help them. This moral conflict becomes the heart of the story. Peter believes that even people who have done terrible things deserve a chance to change. Instead of simply sending them away, he wants to cure the conditions that turned them into villains in the first place. His compassion places him in direct disagreement with Strange, who sees the situation as a dangerous problem that must be resolved quickly. Determined to follow his conscience, Peter begins working with MJ and Ned to find ways of helping the visitors rather than condemning them. They gather equipment, technology, and knowledge in an attempt to reverse the transformations that gave these individuals their destructive powers. The process is risky, but Peter believes that saving them could change their destinies. As the situation unfolds, the boundaries between universes grow weaker. Strange warns that if the damage continues, countless other individuals from different realities may begin crossing into this world. The crisis is no longer just about a few dangerous visitors, but about the survival of the entire multiverse. During the chaos, Peter faces some of the most difficult emotional challenges of his life. His efforts to help others bring unexpected consequences, forcing him to confront loss, guilt, and responsibility in ways he never imagined. The experience pushes him to mature as both a hero and a person, teaching him painful lessons about sacrifice and the true meaning of responsibility. The struggle against these powerful enemies eventually grows into a massive confrontation, where Peter must rely not only on his intelligence and courage but also on the support of others who understand what it means to carry the burden of being Spider-Man. The battle that follows is not simply about defeating villains, but about protecting reality itself from collapsing. As the conflict reaches its climax, Peter is forced to make a heartbreaking decision that will determine the future of everyone he cares about. The solution requires a sacrifice greater than anything he has faced before. In order to repair the damage done to the multiverse, he must allow a spell to erase the world's memory of Peter Parker completely. This choice means that everyone who once knew him, including the people closest to his heart, will forget he ever existed. Despite the pain of losing those connections, Peter understands that protecting the world must come first. True heroism sometimes requires letting go of the life you wish you could keep. When the spell is finally completed, reality stabilizes and the visitors from other universes return to their own worlds. The chaos that threatened the multiverse fades away, leaving Peter alone in a city that no longer remembers him. His friends continue their lives without knowing who he is, and the relationships that once defined him are gone. Yet despite this loneliness, Peter does not abandon his responsibility as Spider-Man. Instead, he embraces it more fully than ever before. Living quietly in the city, he continues protecting others from danger, understanding that being a hero is not about recognition or praise, but about doing what is right even when no one knows your sacrifice. The story ends with Peter moving forward into an uncertain future, stronger and wiser after everything he has experienced. The journey through the multiverse has changed him forever, shaping him into a hero defined not just by power but by compassion, courage, and the willingness to sacrifice everything for the greater good. Everything for the greater good.